Hi boys and girls, for math class today we are going to be counting to 20 and I'm going to show you how to write the number 20, and this is kind of new to you. We haven't really gone all the way to 20. We've just been focusing on teen numbers, the numbers 11 through 19, and now we are going to be going all the way to 20, which is pretty awesome. Think about making a representation of 20. You would have a lot of objects, right? You know you'd have at least one group of 10. But how many more would you need? That's what we're going to figure out. Check this out. I'm pretty proud of myself. I took 2 of our magnetic tens frames, and look, I stuck them to a cookie sheet, got out my magnets, and now I can use my little display option here that I always use in school. So check this out. This is a tens frame. Remember how many spaces there are on a tens frame? All right, and I put another one up here because I think we might need it, but I'm not sure. We're going to try and figure this out. If I want to put 20 of these on here, how many am I going to need? Like, what's it going to look like? That's what I should be asking you. What is it going to look like? So let's start here at our top and let's fill it up. We know that 10 fit on here, so let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 across the top. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so full tens frame, we have 10. Let's keep going. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 10 and 5 more is 15. I'm going to switch to yellow ones now because I'm running out. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So what does 20 look like? 2 full tens frames makes 20. So we have 10, 20. Just like when we count down on the hundreds chart, when we count down the side, 10, 20, because we're skip counting by 10. So 10, 20. All right, so that's what it looks like. Easy peasy, right? Yeah, just remember, we got to count that high. So that's when it gets tricky. So if I wanted to make a representation of what this looks like. So let's say these were teddy bears and I had to line them up and put them on my double tens frame. Just like we did. Pretend like these are cubes. I can't get the cubes to stick on here, so that's why I use these. This is 20, and now I need to make a representation on my whiteboard tens frames. You're going to use paper tens frames for today. So I'm going to have to color in 2 full tens frames to show 20. Okay, so I did my first one. Okay, I colored it in, so I know I had 1 full tens frame, and then I had a whole nother one, makes 20. So this would be my way of representing 20. 2 full tens frames. So if you counted up 20 teddy bears, 20 pennies, and I said, now I want you to make a representation, you could color in the 2 full tens frames, okay? So kind of easy because you don't have to remember, like, you know how you color and sometimes you color too many? Well, now you know if it's 20, you just get to fill them right up, right? All right, so let me show you what your work is going to be on your workbook page. When your parents pull out your pages, they're actually going to come across a little warm-up sheet with the apples on it that you can do. So that's the beginning of chapter 9. Count and compare numbers to 20. That's where we're starting. And then there's a little practice sheet with some apples and bananas on there. You guys can do that one too. It wants you to count them up, and then it wants to talk about, are they equal? Are they not equal? Does one have more? That's what they want you to do on there. So it's a good little warm-up for your brain. There's one, do you see this? 1 flashcard for 20. And then, and these are, you know what, they're not in your book because I already pulled them out and stapled them for you. Then, this is where we're going to start. All right, just like you did the other day in your work, I want you to take some small object and put one object on each one of these little circles. So if we were in class, we would get out our cubes and everyone would do their cubes and they'd figure out how many they had. Okay, so they'd line them all up on there, and then we would slide them down and see how many we have. Do you guys remember doing this? So one object, maybe it's a penny, put 1 penny on each of these little circles around this caterpillar carpet, I think is what it is, and then slide them down just like you do and figure out how many this is. And if you can, you should write the number right here. okay? I am going to count with you on the next page, and I'm going to show you how to write the number 20. All right, so the next page in here, it actually looks like this, okay? And what they're asking you to do is count up each one of these notebooks. Now, when we count, what do we do? Do you remember? How do we keep track? I mean, there's so many, I might get confused. Do you remember how we keep track? We take our pencil and we put a line on them as we count so that we can keep track of where we are and to stay organized so we don't just keep counting them around and around in a circle. So when I counted these up, I figured out that there was actually 20. So I knew that I needed to color in both of these tens frames for 10, 20, okay? Now down here, I'm going to have to count up these pencils, and as I count them, I put a line on them, right? And then I have to come over here and fill in these tens frames. So if there's 20 here, I need to fill in 20. If there's 19, I need to be careful and only do 19. Then I'm going to count the paper clips, and I have to color in over here. Now, I will tell you that I was counting these before I started this video, and they do try to trick you. They are not all 20, okay? So you need to count up how many you have and just color in that many over here. Now, a lot of you are ready to be counting and writing the number. So if you want to count up how many this is, color in these tens frames, and then write the number, like right in here, that would be definitely first grade work. So do it, okay? You guys are smart enough, you can totally do it. If you don't know how to make a 20, I will show you. Let's look here. Let's actually do it this way, because how fun is this? You can really make your brains think like first graders. If we had our part whole, what did we just figure out? Well, we know we figured out that we had 20 on our frames. How many was in this first tens frame? 10, right? So 10 plus, how many down here? 10 more, 10 and 10 more equals 20. 10 and 10 is 20. So a 20 is a 2 and a 0. For a 2, you curve up and around, slanted line down, pull across, and then a 0, okay? Pull up and around, slanted line down and across, up and around, slanted line down and across. I went kind of fast, and then a 0. That's your 20. All right, so that's what I want you to do today. I want you to do that whole section of 9.1. I want you to count the objects, make sure you mark them to keep track, show your parents how you do it because you're experts at this. Then I want you to shade in, and I also want you to try and write those teen numbers because you know them. Why not just do it, right? Right? Start thinking like a first grader because you're almost there. All right, have a good morning. Bye, guys.